putting an end to identity politics. This is the Kevin Jackson Radio Show.
Welcome back, everybody. Kevin Jackson here. Too much sanity may be madness, and the maddest of all, to see life as it is, not as it should be. Miguel de Cervantes said that. He is the person who wrote Don Quixote. Now, that saying, too much sanity may be madness, and the maddest of all, to see life as it is, not as it should be, I say applies to Hillary Clinton. Yeah, she's now seeing life as it is, not life as it should be. That's got to be sheer madness. Yeah, glad you guys are here. KJRadio.com, 844-551-8255. We are dealing with sanity, which means we also have to deal with insanity. And the insanity of it all is you started to count. But what's really insane about that is you never should have not counted. Does that confuse you? In other words, you're the boss. We are the boss. When did the boss let the employees start running us? Because that's what we do. We do it across the board. How much money does the average Holly weirdo make? Who's the boss? You're the boss. You're the ones who determine who gets to be popular and who doesn't. They think they do. I'm super talented. I'm really a good singer. I'm this or that. I've got lots of drive. Let me tell you something. There are more talented people in every field of study. Everybody you know. Give me your best actor. There's somebody you don't know who's 10 times better. Give me your best singer. There's some voice you've never heard that's 10 times better. Guarantee you. They get so caught up in themselves. We live in bizarro world, opposite world. Sanity is insanity. And you know what we did? We did something really insane. We elected a person who's actually qualified to run the country. How crazy is that? Have you thought that? When Donald Trump got elected, did you know people who went, that's just insane. That's freaking crazy, man. He ain't even a politician. That's what it was set up for. The sanity of the founding fathers says, we don't want politicians. We want business people, people from the ground, people from the crowd, people from the hood. We want them in there. We don't want professional politicians. We want you to serve and go back to your farms, go back to your businesses, go back to your families. But you know what we do? We send these suckers up there and they stay forever. And you know what happens when you stay forever? You try to figure out a way to stay longer. And we allow it. President's got term limits. We accept it. Congress has no term limits. We got judges that have to die in office. Many roles are that way. Now we've even got deep state roles that have no elected officials whatsoever. They can be appointed by the people in power. They give them power over you in ways that would blow your mind. And we think we're insane. I said, we think it's stupid when a dog chases its tail. The dog's looking at us going, this may look stupid, but what y'all do makes me look like a genius. We got Donald Trump elected. His message got through the insanity of the media. He was able to make sure that all the crooked facets of that Clinton fake diamond, that cubic zirconia, shine through. And despite the media onslaught that Donald Trump faced, you know what he did? He trusted his training. All those years of the art of the deal, understanding people, understanding emotions, understanding, having his finger on the pulse of America. Donald Trump has applied warrior concepts to his daily routine, so much so they are second nature to him. He doesn't even have to think about it. And the Democrats oblige him because they still, even to this moment, they underestimate Donald Trump. One of Trump's favorite quotes is, a leader has a right to be beaten, but never the right to be surprised. What he's saying is, I may enter that race knowing Usain Bolt's going to beat me, but it isn't going to be by a surprise. I know exactly what can happen. I don't know why it can happen. And I will have trained around it. And if I can maneuver him, it's like, using fight talk, I'm a little dude. I'm not that huge. So if I'm in a confined space, I have to change tactics. If I'm free to roam, you may not ever even get to put your hands on me. You get what I'm saying? There should be no surprises. Donald Trump hardly sleeps, constantly prepared for battle, probably sleeps with a sword and metaphorical shield by his bedside. But most interesting to me when I analyze Trump is the ease at which he toys with the left. The ease, battle ready, from dozens, if not hundreds, if not thousands of micro battles that occur every single day. For the record, you're in those battles as well. Trump, they say, has a fondness for Sun Tzu. And I bet he's familiar with this quote. He approves of this if he's smart, holds out baits to entice the enemy, feign disorder, and crush him. This is the hidden strategy. So not only did Trump not stop the Democrats' attack on him, folks, but he actually forced them to prosecute it. This is from a guy who wrote this in American Thinker, Daniel Ashman. He gathered Democrat swamp monsters into a single group under his control, pointed them in a direction, and off they went. From this perspective, the more anti-Trump the investigators are, the better. The Democrats are well into their attack, ranting, chasing, running through the mountain pass, but they're looking at a mirage rather. Trump isn't there. They haven't noticed that Trump is president. Trump and his team are on top of the overlooks on either side. The ambush against Democrats is well underway. Daniel Ashman wrote this in American Thinker. And he couldn't be more. This is so true. He goes on, the truth about Mueller's investigation is coming out, and it's highly damaging. Be it about Mueller's team member Peter Strzok and Lisa Page exchanging text messages calling Trump a loathsome human. Andrew McCabe testifying about a meeting in his office where FBI agents said they, quote, can't take that risk of Trump becoming president. Or Mueller obtaining thousands of Trump transition team emails in an improper manner. Democrats are not prepared for these developments. They never thought it would happen. You follow? The mainstream media, they're blacking it out. They don't want to tell you. Eric Holder and James Comey are doing juvenile tweets. See, Trump pretends to be dead, so the prey will come near him. Then he strikes him with the speed of a serpent. And I'm talking about quick-acting neurotoxin that makes them get their sanity. Because you know what happens now that the Democrats are starting to get their sanity? They're seeing their real future. Trump speaks in ambiguous terms. Many times I've listened to this man. I've followed him. Once he made the transition and was the guy, I said I'd support him. And then I had to go back and look at the things that he said because people on the right were, he's not a conservative. He donates more to the Democrats. And I started going back and looking at what he said and how he said it, his phraseology, if you will. And I thought to myself, he's ambiguous. He's ambiguous. He's ambiguous. He's ambiguous on many issues. And this is a learned tactic. It allows him necessary outs while signaling that a deal is possible, but only under certain circumstances. In this article, he continues, he says, this is how Trump wants it. Remember, during the campaign, Trump emphasized that he wouldn't tell America's enemies what his plans were. Sun Tzu says these military devices leading to victory must not be divulged beforehand. Part of the reason that Trump wants a confusing situation. After the ambush comes the counterattack. Trump's troops have been positioned. The preparations are being completed. The enemy is placed in a vulnerable spot. Does any of this ring a bell to you? The Justice Department's Inspector General report's going to come out, damaging information on Democrat operatives. Congressmen are getting increasingly fed up with the lies by these deep state bureaucrats. They're begging Trump to pursue Democrat corruption more aggressively. Remember when people screamed, folks, that Mueller had stacked the deck against the president? Yeah, he did. He got Mueller to assemble a lot of swamp creatures into one area, the kill zone. Now who's in it? Comey lawyered up. Peter Strzok lawyered up. McCabe resigned. My bet, This guy requests immunity and witness protection soon. Democrats now scramble to exit stage left with as much of their flesh as they can keep on. Hardly a high-level Obama administration person is going to go untouched. And most of Clinton's staff will look for representation soon. And I'm not talking about literary agents. Donald Trump's got him right where he wants him. One of the smartest moves in the history of politics. And he did it for us. He didn't do it for himself.
He won't stop until he's the top-rated radio talk show host in America.
What kind of weird competitive freak are you?
This is the Kevin Jackson Radio Show.